So here we are. I represent the local SCORE chapter, and SCORE used to be an acronym. It's in this briefing. We'll talk about it a little bit. But this is me, Glenn Phelps, Colonel retired, spent almost 30 years in the military, during which, uncharacteristically, I had commands and jobs that required me to work with industry as well as soldiers. So that got me interested in industry, which everybody in the military has to do because sooner or later you're out of the military. But I got a chance to have a head start. So what is SCORE? Who is it? Who are we? SCORE is a nationwide organization of volunteer counselors. We're a resource partner of the Small Business Administration, and we're a nonprofit organization. Our organization is nationwide with 1,100 plus volunteers, and we have chapters all over the country. The local SCORE chapter is the one I'm in, Sand Hills SCORE. Our office is in Southern Pines. Talk about a little bit about that farther on. We just have one simple mission, and that's to help entrepreneurs start a business and to help small businesses do better in business. If they ask us, we're a volunteer organization, you come to us, we will offer you our experience-based advice. SCORE, as a nationwide organization, publishes a lot of documents that we can share with you to help you understand elements of business. If you're thinking of having a business, if you're already in business, we'll help you analyze an issue you may wish to bring to us. What is modern media and how can I use some? I see a lot of people my age that come to ask us that question. And so we're here to help. And we're, of course, free. Why do we do this? Why does the nation have a small business administration? That's because basically the economy, talked about the middle class in the last presentation, the economy of this country is founded on small business. More jobs in America are paid for by small business, and more people are employed by small business than there are by the Exxon Mobils and the Googles and these firms. So small business is a very essential element. Now, this has been a bad few years for small business. It's been a bad few years for big business. It's been a bad few years for certain investments. But it's turning around and it's coming back, and that's wonderful for this country. So we're seeing a lot more activity of people coming to us from the entrepreneurial side. I want to start a business, but we're still seeing a lot of people saying, I want to take advantage of some new tax law. I want to take advantage of some new economic situation. I need help to realign my business in a different way or add to its capabilities. So we're there to help. We're there to offer free advice. That's all SCORE does. We merely exist to share our knowledge with other people. And it's confidential, and once again, it's free. Very strong element of business management is there is no free lunch. We're kind of a free snack anyway. So, we are truly free. We don't charge in any way. And we're stocked with people who are sharing their experience, and by sharing your experience, you're staying current in what's happening. So that's why SCORE exists. There are 12 chapters scattered around the state, mostly in the local metropolitan areas. The Sand Hills office here serves all the counties all the way around Fort Bragg, plus Richmond, plus Scotland, plus Robeson counties. And our main office is Southern Pines. We like to talk to each person that we're going, each organization or person or team of people that come to us. We like to sit down and have a conference, understand what they do, understand what they need us to help them with, and then we can assign a counselor of the right background to work with them. Just that simple. So what do we provide confidential business counseling, face-to-face or internet. We do a lot of counseling over the internet. We teach classes. We teach classes in Sandhills and Robeson Community College, small business classes, how to start a business, how to improve modern media, utilization, many different classes. And we participate with one of the members of this organization, Tamara Bryant, who's the Small Business Center Director here in the Fayetteville Technical Community College, is the dean of a little group of us from around the community that volunteer to teach soldiers who think they wish to be entrepreneurs when they leave the service. So we're proud to do that. And we're also active in our own home county, Moore County, Southern Pines, in helping with their economic development to entice more businesses to grow in Moore County, come to Moore County, relocate to Moore County, start up in Moore County. So we're part of an effort in our county, which exists, of course, in every county in the state. Very powerful one here, driven by your Chamber of Commerce team here in this town. So we need your help. We are very proud of the fact that we help veterans. 40% of all the people we see are veterans, probably because of a very major element of the population is the 56,000 soldiers and their families that we're so proud to have in our community, and who generate a significant portion of the economy of particularly Fayetteville and Cumberland County. So, but also Moore County from residential support. But half of our clients, and I'll talk a little bit about this later, are from this county and travel all the way to Southern Pines to talk to us. And we do want to start a formal branch here in Fayetteville, so I'll mention that. How many people own a business or are in a business here in Cumberland or Fayetteville? Okay. And if you're not aware of this, this city is the home of an absolute plethora of capable state-funded, federal-funded organizations who exist solely to help small business. We exist and service this area, but we are not located in this area, and we would like to be. So, I'll talk about a little more about that later. But we do need volunteers from here. We have met with the Chamber of Commerce. We've met with other organizations here looking for ways to recruit volunteers. We actually do have volunteers willing to counsel, capable of counseling, do counsel. What we don't have is a volunteer to try and start a branch to our chapter. So this is sort of like a recruiting exercise here. But we're very proud of what we do, but if you're not very proud, you should be, and I don't know how many of you really know what the inventory of businesses is here, but I can discuss that in a minute. So that was it. Now, you have a military small business center, a military business center here to help people. Half the people we see, or 40% of the people we see are veterans. Most of them dream of coming back in some way, and many other people that live around here find there's a lot of money on Fort Bragg. We're actually worried about how much we might lose if the DOD continues to downsize, but they think that working with the government, not an irrational idea. If you work for the government as a contractor, it's a good steady income base. Once you win and keep contracts and build a reputation so you can continue to win contracts. So a lot of the people we see want help with government business. You have an organization right here, funded by the state, the Military Business Center, which provides that function. Many people just want to start a business. You have here Small Business Technical Development Center funded by the state. You have a small business center right in this beautiful community college, funded by the state. You have private organizations, but have long standing here in the county and in the city, called the Center for Economic Development and Empowerment, inside of which is a women's business center, which by law provides free business advice, just like we do, to anybody that needs it. So all these organizations exist to support people, but people come to SCORE, and we're very proud to help them, and we're very glad they come to SCORE, but they make a big trek all the way around Fort Bragg. Most of them have to come to Southern Pines so that we can help them with their business challenges. And their entire hour, they're driving away from absolutely wonderful, funded, taxpayer-funded, or private organizations that already exist over here. So the logical thing for us is to come and open an office over here, but the logical thing for all the people in Fayetteville is to understand what a wonderland of free advice there is over here. And we're proud to be part of it. We would like to be a little better part of it by having an office over here, but we continue to be amazed about how many people come over, and we always ask somebody that comes to our office, I'm sure all of you do, somehow or other you manage to work into the conversation, why did you choose us, why are you here, how can we help you, that sort of thing. I always say, did you think of anybody else over there? No, they don't even know they exist. SCORE is a nationwide organization. We do not advertise like McDonald's or anybody else incessantly on almost every media there is or anything, but we advertise enough that people know we're there. We have a nationwide website, we have local chapter websites. People can come and see us, people can find us, they can talk to us, and we do our thing to help them reach their personal business objectives. But I'm still fascinated by what an amazing array, to include your public library is another one over here. It's an immense help to business. All these organizations exist. And I have this little image of Lobelia Road, if it makes any sense, 690, of people driving in a queue over here to come over to Southern Pines to get our help, and I love it. It's wonderful, and we're proud to do it. We'd rather do it over here and say we would then presume to see even more people. Because some people say, oh, you're way over there. Well, thanks anyway. But most of them come over there. So you ask yourself, I'm just here to let you know who SCORE, but you can ask yourself, well, why don't people here know what a resource this county has? It's amazing to me. I'm a taxpayer, so I'm paying for some of these people. They're all great. They know what they're doing. They're there to help. Immense number of people don't know they're there. So I'm not here to talk about SCORE. So if you have any questions, and get into a lot of detail because there is no detail. What we do is confidential. What we do is provide you answers to questions you bring to us about how you can make your business better, how you can start. Just technically, how do I start a business? Then I would add this state. Communicating with people inside of SCORE, I would say that this state must be in the top 10% of states in this country for the simplicity and ease of starting a business. Now, unfortunately, of course, starting a business is only the first legal step. If you fall like a nose right after you started, that doesn't help. But it is very administratively supported by the Department of Commerce and the Secretary of State's office to start a business, fire one up and get it going. Now, the next challenge is to keep it going and make it successful. But we are blessed in this state with a very carefully thought through internet-supported capability for business startups here. And we help people through that little maze. It also takes another bureaucracy to weed your way through to get to be a government contractor. We help people through that. I help. That's one of my specialties since I spent 10,101 days. I wasn't counting, but I looked it up at Excel the other day in the military. And subtract any two dates in Excel, it'll tell you the number of days between those dates. But anyway, so I'm proud of my military career, the last part of which was totally interacting with business and small business, because the government understands the value of small business, so they motivate all government spending to include small business. If they have to hire a major corporation like Fort Bragg did to build that little building over there for Forest Comp, then they force those contractors to have small business contracts. So there is an organization funded by the state right here that helps you through that maze. But if you want to come over, we'll help you through it at our end. But once again, I'm pleased to be in a competition with organizations that are as powerful and as useful as the ones you just have sitting right here. Small Business Technical Development Center and Procurement Assistance Office are both right there on the campus with Fayetteville State. So why doesn't anybody use them? I don't know. I suppose I should say I don't care. The taxpayer part of me wonders why. So SCORE's here to help. It doesn't take much explaining. We don't have a phantasmagorical array of things like your organization would have to deal with, all the ways that a family could use money to their advantage, or carefully be sure not to their disadvantage. But we want to help you start, help you succeed, help you grow your business. Just that simple. That's all there is to it. And we're available. We have a website, score.org. We'll lead you to Sandhill Score, or Sandhill Score has a website, sandhillscore.org. We're here to help. I can't say it any other way. Are there any questions?
If I was interested in helping to lead the efforts to establish a chapter here, I run a business. Mm-hmm. So what would be my commitment of time or resources or money to be a part of that?
Well, it's hard for me to say that. Now, I'm the chairman of the chapter over there, and I would probably say on the average of half a day a week.
Half a day a week?
Yeah. But some weeks a little more, some weeks a little less. But I'm also a counselor, and that really is driven by the intensity and depth of what somebody needs and how often we have to meet to help them do that. So actually administering the thing might or might not be a smaller or larger version than actually being a counselor. So I have to do both just because I enjoy it. And I'm retired, so I have copious free time. My wife doesn't recognize that because I'm in so many different organizations. But anyway, it certainly would take half a day a week to be the boss. Now, counseling, you might go a while. If the only thing that you could advise somebody on is how to start a medical clinic or something like that, because you're a retired surgeon, well, you're not going to see as many people as somebody that wants to start a retail store, somebody that wants to find a niche in helping the government. A lot of the soldiers here, this is a tremendous boom to the defense, recycle themselves right back into the training base here at Fort Bragg, but they have to do that as a contractor, so they need a little bit of help. Get them through the wickets so that they can have the contractor sign instead of the U.S. Army or U.S. Air Force sign on the uniforms. But proud to do that too. Any other questions? Yes, sir.
So I say you're all volunteers and probably don't have a travel budget, but if someone wants to talk to you directly, they have to travel to Southern Bend.
What we want to do is see somebody for approximately an hour to understand what they want from us and for them to understand how we function. And then we would assign them to a counselor, and then that counselor and that client sort it out amongst themselves on how to meet, where to meet, whether to talk on the phone, whether to email each other, both, whatever. After that, it's a one-on-one decision to be made. And you might, we get, I'm over here in Cumberland, so we'll talk about that. Everybody driving around Lobelia Road or down 211 through Rayford to get to Southern Pines, but we see people from Dunn, we see people from, like I said, Lumberton. We see quite a few people, and if you think there are economic challenges here in this county, that's something to think about Rayford, because Rayford is the living personification of a challenged county with the issues they have down there, the population, the lack of jobs, things like that. So, and we do have an office down there. Nobody sits in there and answers the phone all day, but we have access to an office where we can counsel people. Here in this, Paul has been very generous to make Chamber of Commerce space available. Remains to be seen when it gets relocated, which is eminent with the council moving off 8th Street and back down into the center of the village, city.
Yeah, they've already moved.
Okay, fine. So I can get over there, but I'm sure there's no problem if we even have the council in a giant conference room, as long as it's free. So he's been very supportive all the
Sure, the
time.
exact location has it down there.
Any other questions?
Yeah, what percentage of your clients are startups and what percentage are existing businesses?
Well, since you asked, I'd take a wild guess and say that 61.5% of the people that we counsel are startups. The rest are people who want help of some sort. And sometimes that's a startup of a whole new, they do one function and now they understand that they could meld a different function onto that successful building block. So it's like a startup. But they understand what they're doing and just have certain questions and we answer them, or help them. Yes, ma'am.
Do you have certain requirements for volunteers, or do you put them through a training?
There is an online training activity. This is named SCORE.org by the nationwide organization, and we have an orientation to help them understand how our chapter functions and so on. And then we usually take new counselors and have them work. And so 2 counselors will team together and one an experienced counselor with some clients until everyone feels comfortable and wants off on their own. But no, there's no school, there's no SCORE school or anything like that. Any other questions? If not, thank you very much. I didn't come over here to lecture, I actually come over here to recruit for SCORE. I really and truly am stunned that a huge percentage, I just need you to this infuse back into whatever part of the community you occupy, that you have a tremendous resource over here, but somehow or other the word isn't out. So I'm sure all of you understand what SEED does, and it does one hell of a lot, excuse my language, more for this community than business counseling. The rest are just business counselors, and I don't mean just business counselors. We focus on that, and you pay for them with your taxes. So we'd be proud to have an office over here in a crowd that good.